Hey, I'm here. I'm back with another video. I don't even got none. I can't. There's way too much to talk about because I really need to break down some of the legal things that's going on in here. I will do my best to keep it very as simple as possible for everybody to kind of grasp. But I will like to say this before I start. I meant what I said last week, which is I'm tired of talking about this. I don't want to talk about this no more. And I'm trying to hurry up because I got a lot of shit to talk about. But all I want to say is that the reason why I want to stop doing this is because do you know how many cases Erica is in? Do you know how many cases she has levied against her? Are we gonna every single time something happens in one of the cases, we're gonna talk about it? Because if that's the case, we are gonna be talking about this for years. I don't want to talk about this anymore until the final judgment is brought down in the big one that she got, like that main big one. Until we get a final verdict on that, I don't want it every single time a small development like this earrings thing to me was nothing to even talk about. Like, I don't want to hear about this case no more until it's done. Like I said, if y'all are really going to choose to harp on something every single time there's small movement in this case, we're going to be talking about it forever. So, I just want to say that. I'm tired of talking about this shit. Like, the last 5 minutes of this damn show, 2 minutes, I found way more interesting than the whole damn episode. Anyway, so the morning after everything happened, right? So you got Kyle and Lisa pretty much talking, and Kyle was just like, I just wanted her to stop. I want her to stop. Her saying everything that she said last week, blah, 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 blah. Lisa tells Kyle how she pretty much told Erica, like, last night when they got into the car that they wanted her to show sympathy. So then they show a flashback of the night before, and it's Erica, Lisa, and Dorit in a car, and Renna pretty much was like, you didn't do anything wrong, but there are victims. And then, and people just want you to show empathy and sympathy towards that. And she said, I did. Like, didn't I do that like 9 months ago, talking about the reunion? Which I will say, Erica that bitch got blasted last reunion. Like, for her to sit in the hot seat the way that she did during that reunion and take everything, not only did she take everything, she literally answered everything. Like, everything, every question that anybody had, she literally answered in that reunion. So I can see why it would be annoying for you to, it's like you guys are asking the same questions again and again and again. That's why I think she's getting annoyed. It's like, y'all had all of these questions, which fine, but I sat down and I was pretty much in the firing squad and answered every single last one of y'all questions, and now y'all still got shit to say. So I can understand that to a degree, right? So, before we get into this next part, I just wrote here because I saw Crystal. I said, I just want to say I don't trust Crystal because I feel like she's a flip-flopper. And I'm going to explain at the end why I feel like Crystal is a flip-flopper and she kind of blows wherever the wind goes. So yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later. Also, you can tell that Kyle is like very like on top of Kathy, like in a sense of like, I don't know. It's like she always like is taking care of her or trying to make sure she's okay. I don't know. Whatever. I'll put that in my notes for some reason too. So then, so you got Garcelle, Kyle, Crystal, Sutton, and Lisa. They're all, I don't know, at some damn restaurant and talking about last night. And Kyle pretty much tells the girls that Erica had packed up her bags because remember she was staying at Kyle's house. So she packed up her bags, and I guess maybe Dorit and Diana must have helped her, and she pretty much left and went to where Diana was staying. And so Kyle's feelings were hurt about that. So that's that. And then you have Erica, Dorit, and why do I have S here? Erica, Dorit, and Diana. I don't know why I have Sutton here, but that doesn't even make any sense. Okay, so they pretty much go to this shop, and Dorit had asked Erica, because I think Kyle had planned like for them to go to like some damn kemosabe little situation about a hat. And so Dorit was like, are you gonna go? Because I know Kyle wants everybody to go. And then Erica was like, no, I'm not gonna go, because I don't like what happened last night. So then Diana was like, I get what you're saying, but like if you wasn't married to Tom, if you wasn't this, if you wasn't that, wouldn't you still feel bad for the victims? And pretty much just saying that we wanted you to show more sympathy. And Dorit said in her confessional, she was like, could Erica show more sympathy? Yes, she could. But at the same time, everything she says will be scrutinized. And I put in parentheses in all capital letters, and used in a court of law, which is why last night's episode could be really, really damning to her in her case. And I'll talk about what part of the case, because that's what we kind of got to break down, right? And I'm about to get into the case in a second. So yeah, so then like I said, Diana was like, wouldn't you feel bad? Da 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 blah 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 blah. So then she said, you know, Erica pretty much was like, you know, like I had enough, like people didn't even congratulate me that like the Chicago case, which is the case that kind of kicked off all of the trickling cases that kind of happened after that. So the Chicago case was dismissed. Okay. Now I literally paused at that moment, and I promise y'all for the next 2 hours maybe, I just was like, you want to know what? I got to understand where we are, because I know where we was a year ago when everything started. So I wanted to understand where we are now, and I wanted to see if she was lying, if I could call her bullshit. So let's go through as fast as I can some of the different things that are going on here, okay? So when we're talking about the lawsuit in question that she's talking about, right, that got dismissed. And so and Crystal ended up saying later, like maybe 5 minutes after that, like, well, yeah, it was dismissed, but it can be refiled. So technically the case is not over. Technically the case legally for Erica at that point in time, because I'll talk about in a minute, was over. It was, because at that time it was dismissed and they planned on refiling, but they had not refiled at that time, right? So let's go to it. So where we at? I gotta get my notes, y'all. I got so many notes here. I got so many notes. I'm sorry, y'all. I got so many notes. I'm just trying to get my shit together. Okay, so where we at here? Okay, so this is from. Oh shit! I can't even quote my source. I'm gonna put the links to the articles in my things, because I can't really quote them right now. Not at least this one. But look, this is about the one in question. Now, Crystal was right when Crystal said that they did dismiss her from the case in Chicago, but they did plan on refiling in California, which they did do later. So let's go over that. So I'm just gonna read really fast. So the case that we're talking about, this is the one that is kind of like the one that was dismissed, at least, because that's the thing. These are two separate cases. The earrings is one case, right? And then the one that she was dismissed from was a separate case. They're all kind of doing with the same thing, but they are separate situations, right? Okay, so with the one that was actually, look how disrespectful my dog is, y'all. With the one that was dismissed, so I'm gonna read y'all what it say. Okay, Jane was named in the complaint because the plaintiff's firm alleged that Girardi embezzled the money in order to continue funding his lifestyle. The docs also accused the former couple of using their divorce as a simply sham attempt to fraudulently protect Tom and Erica's money from those that seek to collect debts owed by Tom and his law firm. Now, let me stop right there, bitch. And this is, I'm going to say allegedly, bitch, allegedly. And y'all could go back and watch my other videos. I always said, do I believe that Erica knew that that money was coming from those people? No. But do I believe that when she found out about that shit, she started to scramble and was like, what the fuck do I need to do? And if that means divorcing this nigga, that's what I'm going to do? Yes. So that's what that second part right there is alleged. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay. Yeah, okay. In the 3-day evidentiary hearing in the Bowen case, it showed that Erica had zero role in what pretty much the plaintiffs discussed and did. Oh, sorry. And what the law firm did. Sorry. Let me start that again. The 3-day evidentiary hearing in the Bowen case showed that Erica had zero role in what GK and Ellison discussed, did, and didn't do, whether as between each other or as to their clients. In fact, Erica's name didn't even come up at the hearing. Now, that was the federal case. Now, that's why when she said this is the big one, that was kind of like all the way up into this other one that came up, like that they kind of refiled. But that kind of was the biggest one. So what that means pretty much is that she was dismissed. Now, that case is still going on for Tom in Chicago. But for her, she was dismissed from that case because it was pretty much found that she did not have knowledge of the fact of that money pretty much being moved around the way that it was, which is what I think, which is what I believe. And I feel like a lot of people believe too, right? So that's that. Now, like Crystal said, so a headline had came out like earlier this year about the case being dismissed. And then the attorney who was representing those people was like, yeah, it's being dismissed here, but I do plan on refiling in California. Now, I think I read this like on BuzzFeed. I think I got this part right here from BuzzFeed. Now, to me, and this is just in my opinion, after going through everything, they're gonna be hard pressed to really be able to get Erica. The only thing they might be able to get Erica on is the divorce situation and her possibly trying to hide assets. But even with that, that's kind of hard to prove. But that's the only thing, and the only way that they can really prove that is you gotta prove intent. You gotta show like either around that time there was actually money being moved, if there was any messages or communication. I feel like if anything, they might maybe be able to do a little bit more with that. But with the biggest thing, which is saying that Erica knew exactly what was going on, I don't think that that's going to work. And the lawsuit that they said that they were going to refile in California, they did. And in that lawsuit, the lawyer is pretty much framing Erica as the front runner, like the front woman of this whole thing. And I just feel like that's not a good way to come at this case, because no, like I think that's not a good way, I feel like, to frame this case. After me looking at all of the documents and stuff, nothing so far that I've read or seen in any of these cases show that Erica had any type of ties when it comes to dealing with the cases, the clients, the money. Nothing shows that. So this is from BuzzFeed. It says now pretty much the lawyer that's like that's representing the victims, pretty much, they are going to highlight Erica's role on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills in ongoing litigation, accusing her of using, this is another part, sorry. They're accusing her of using her platform on the show to prolong Tom's scheme by portraying him as a successful lawyer to ensure that his creditors continue to believe that they were wealthy and that the clients could continue to hire Tom to trust him with their money. That part right there kind of stood out to me, because I feel like that is gonna fall real flat in court. That's gonna fall real flat. Tom Girardi, before Erica was even on this show, was somebody. And honestly, if you watch the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, it wasn't just Erica that was piping Tom up. All of the girls on the show talked about how well Tom was respected, how Tom was a great lawyer. It was not just Erica. Erica wasn't, first of all, Tom was barely on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. He was on there, but like only here and there. And yes, she talked about her husband just like everybody else talked about their husband too. So like that's another reason why you can't really use that, because everybody on there kind of talks about their husband. Lisa Hamlin talks about Harry Hamlin all the time. Like we know what Mauricio does. So I feel like that's going to fall flat to say that she propped him up to be this really good lawyer so that everybody else could think that he's this good lawyer. No, that was his reputation. It was not just Erica on the show saying that he's a great lawyer. Everybody said that. So so what I'm saying is that if y'all angle for Erica is this, and that she was the front woman and knew all of this was going on and was out here deceiving people so that they could keep, that's gonna fall flat. That's gonna fall so flat in court, my nigga. That's pretty much damn near dead on arrival. So that's that, right? So, like I said, so they did refile in California. So that is the case that's currently being levied against her. She did have another case though. I also want to say, when Crystal said, well, you know, we shouldn't really be sitting here celebrating because, you know, you still can get that case against you in California. The reason why she's excited about that is, yes, they can refile in California, but at the end of the day, the facts of the case are the facts of the case. I think the lawyer said he's probably going to add in a few more things here and there, but the facts of the case are the facts of the case. If you cannot really tie, this is the thing. What they're trying to pretty much, what's not working and what they're trying to do is this. They're trying to pretty much say, look at Erica. She had all of this money and look at all of her nice stuff. And all of the nice stuff that she got was from these victims, right? Which might be true. But the most important part that y'all are missing in all of that is, did she have knowledge? And that's the part that the lawyers can't prove. And that's because I believe she really did not know. Yes, Erica benefited from those victims and everything that happened. And that is completely fucked up. But what y'all can't really prove, what I'm showing here, is that she knew about it. So all y'all can really do is say, well, look how much money she had. Look at this and look at that and look at this. That's fine. And that may be true. But she did not know. She didn't have knowledge. She didn't work at the law firm. She wasn't a partner. She wasn't any of that in the law firm. So yeah, she is removed. That is how that works. I know people don't like it, but that is really how that works. So the other case that she had that literally just got dismissed on September 1st. Now, this part really gagged me, bitch, because I didn't know about this. So 2 attorneys from Tom's firm sued Erica for fraud, because pretty much saying that she knew about, I think it was like for about $5 million, that she knew that $5 million was supposed to pretty much go into the trust and go into go to maybe them and some other people, which really kind of threw me off. So this is from LA. Now this is from Los Angeles Times, this quote right here, right? So LA County Judge Richard Froon found no evidence Monday of wrongdoing on Jane's part after attorneys Philip R. Shelton and Robert P. Finn accused her in a $5 million lawsuit of aiding and abetting her husband. In March, the State Bar of California filed discipline charges against Girardi, 83, who allegedly misappropriated millions in clients' funds while practicing law. Yeah, so pretty much, yeah, what I have here, and if you keep reading the article, it's pretty much only saying, what the judge said is that all y'all pretty much said is that she spent a lot of money. Like, the judge pretty much said, but all of that is irrelevant to this case. And that's what nobody seems to understand. Yes, Erica has a lot of money. Yes, she has a lot of things. Like, they even, I think they said, presented like a pay schedule or how she spends her money type of schedule. That's all well and good. But that's irrelevant to the point of the case. You're saying that she willingly knew and helped Tom take money from survivors and spend it on herself. Y'all cannot prove that. That's where y'all are all falling flat. All any of y'all are saying is that she benefited off of it. Yeah, you're right. She damn sure did. But the thing about that, that's only illegal if she knew. At least for her part is what I'm saying. Now, yes, they can come and garner her stuff and take this and take that. But as far as under the law, no, Erica does not fall under anything. And then I want to finish reading about that. So then it says, additionally, Froon determined that neither Jane nor Girardi owed the plaintiffs any fiduciary duties defined by Cornell Law School as an obligation to act in a way that will benefit someone else, usually financial. Now, that's the part. Now, fiduciary duty, bitch, I learned about that like in undergrad, right? So again, fiduciary duty is the person obligated to act in a way that will benefit another person. So Erica, it was found, and I believe this to be true, that now I don't know about Tom because I can't speak for Tom because he works, but this makes sense. Put it like this in layman's terms. What the judge is saying is that Erica did not owe the attorneys that worked at Tom's firm anything. She did not owe them a duty of care. She did not owe them a duty of anything. She did not owe them anything. It wasn't on her to make sure that things were taken care of. She had none. And apparently they're saying that neither did Tom. So that's pretty much that. I just kind of wanted to briefly explain that. I know that took up the majority of the time, so I'm going to run through everything else. So pretty much, Erica brings up them dropping the case, like I said, which was the next day after the fight, which to me is hilarious. And I do believe Erica when Erica said, I find it funny that the day before this news leaks is the day that everybody want to have this conversation. I do find that funny too, Erica, just saying. And they show the girls, and like I said, and Sutton says that this is the case that they wanted her to be a part of. And then Crystal said, you know, what I just told you, all of that shit I just told you, right? So then everybody goes out or whatever. The girls are still separate. Kathy ends up getting mad at Renna because she asked to drink Kendall Jenner's tequila instead of Kathy Hilton's. And I'm not gonna hold you, bitch. I would have been mad too because Kendall Jenner though, no. But Kathy like really just pulled like a rich white woman tantrum and ran out, and then that made Kyle upset or whatever. Now Erica is an entire bitch because she wore them damn earrings in question that very next day. You are a bitch. You are a full-fledged bitch from where you did that shit on purpose, and you're a bitch. you're a bitch. That's all I'm saying. You're a bitch for that. Okay. So then, Dorit pretty much goes outside to call Kyle because she was still hanging out with Erica and Diana, and pretty much was like, I want to come to Kemosabe, but I don't want to leave Erica alone. And then Kyle pretty much feels some type of way about that and feels like, oh, bitch, you taking her side. And it's like, I'm not taking her side. I just don't want her to be by herself. So then we go back and we see Kyle is in fucking tears and, oh my gosh, it's just, Kyle be getting so Kyle was giving me, the last couple minutes of this episode was really, and Kyle and Kathy was giving me season 1, season 2 with Kyle and Kim, baby. Iconic shit, okay? So then Brenna's like, let me go talk to Erica and them. So Brenna goes over to where Erica and Diana and Dorit are and says, we just need to sit down and have the conversation. And Erica's like, well, nobody congratulated me after all of them bitches just came for me. Nobody said to me, congratulations on you winning your case or whatever, which, to be fair, they didn't. What else? We got Lisa, Kyle, and Kathy, and Kyle's pretty much just saying that she's mad. She feel like Dorit took Erica's side and that she shouldn't have, given how she acted. Dorit ends up coming into the house to go and talk to Kyle. Kyle pretty much snaps the fuck out on her and was like, you're supposed to be my friend and you wasn't there for me. And they just screaming and like, I would have smacked the fuck out of Kyle because who are you yelling at like that? But I guess Mauricio was like, all right, y'all doing too much. Y'all need to fix this and hug it out. So they hugged it out. How much for the pound dollar? So then we get to the cowboy bar. And before, I think everybody is there except Erica and Diana at first. So Kyle comes in pretty much and explains everything that happens. Then Erica and Diana comes in, and then Kyle pretty much goes up to Erica and pulls her to the side. Now Kyle was just like, at the end of the day, we just want you to have empathy. And, just because you show empathy, that doesn't mean that you did it. And Erica said what I've been saying, which is like, you guys want me to say things that I cannot say. And Kyle was like, no lawyer is going to tell you to not show empathy. Girl, have you met lawyers before? Have you met Kyle, let's be more critical when you say sentences like that. Let's be more critical, okay? So then Erica was like, she does feel for the victims and those that have been wrong need to be made whole. But she said, when you guys do that, you lump me in with that whole situation. And she pretty much was like, you don't like it, like when I say it's not my fault, but it is not my fault, and she is correct. It is not her fault. Does she benefit off of it? Yes. I guess maybe the best way that I can kind of describe it to people is like, I ain't gonna even take it that far. I was gonna take it somewhere. But anyway, but yeah, she does benefit off of what happened, but she is right in the sense of she did not do that to those people. She is correct in that. So anyway, then Kyle and Erica hug it out or whatever. Garcelle says in her confessional, and somebody gonna tweet this like she ate when she did not. Going pretty much say like it's a double, like pretty much so Erica could scream at Kyle, right? Or no, Kyle can come for Erica and Erica can forgive her in 2 seconds. But then when it comes to Sutton, she'll hold grudge to her. She'll hold on to a grudge for years. Yeah, it's double standards. Bitch, Erica is not friends with Sutton. Well, Erica literally said to Kyle, this is our first blow up in 7 years. They've been friends for over 7 years. Her and Sutton just met. That's why. I don't understand how many different ways I gotta tell you bitches. My thing is, Garcelle, you know who the clique is. So why are you always so surprised when the clique clicks? I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't stand up for any of the women. Y'all all confuse me, right? So then Crystal is pretty much talking to Dorit about the article and pretty much was just like, well, I know where you stand. I don't care. I really don't care about that part. It wasn't important. So Crystal is talking to, sorry, y'all, Sutton, I'm gonna hurry up, about what happened. And this is pretty much how I feel about it. Crystal, shut the hell up, because I feel like you're a flip-flopper. I feel like when it's convenient for you, then you want to hang out with Sutton and Garcelle and pretty much be on their side when it comes to shit about Erica and the rest of the girls. But the minute that you get the chance to be in the popular girls little clique, that's what you do, because that's what you did on a reunion last time. You love to sit up here and flip-flop between the two girls. Then sit there and be like, oh, I just find it funny that Lisa and Kyle and all of them want to laugh about last night. Like I said, Crystal, you a fucking flip-flopper and I don't fucks with it. Like I said, how many times really should you have had Garcelle and Sutton's back when it came to these other bitches and you decided to jump the fence and be on their side? Girl, bye. Girl, bye, girl, bye, girl, bye, girl, bye. Like, I peep you and I don't like it and I'm not here for it. So then Crystal pretty much sits down and tells Erica, like, I didn't like the way that you talked to me because I feel like you came for me, but you didn't say anything to Garcelle. And I'm like, what? Did she miss the last 2 fucking episodes of these bitches arguing? And Erica was like, what are you talking about? She was like, Garcelle, right or wrong? And even Garcelle was like, girl, she definitely did come for me. So I don't know what point Crystal was trying to make, but she didn't fucking make it in that point. And pretty much Erica was just like, bitch, you need to mind your own business. You talking about cases that you don't know anything about, which she is right. They're all conflating the cases is what's going on. Everybody's conflating cases and conflating situations, and it's not all the same thing. That's pretty much what happened. Wasn't really much happened the rest of the episode. So the last 2 minutes of it, they go to a club, right? And then it shows a text message. Lisa texts Erica pretty much saying like, Kathy had the craziest meltdown I've ever seen in my life. She's in here throwing stuff and screaming and cursing. I've never heard her. She talked to Kyle ridiculously. I've never heard anything like this a day in my life. And then you see Kathy text Lisa and was like, silence is golden. I'm staying silent. And then there was some shit over the weekend about how that was brought up, I guess, on the reunion, how Kathy Hilton had allegedly like tried to threaten Lisa as to not say anything about her having a meltdown or some shit, bitch. This really better be bigger than what I think, because if not, y'all dragging. Because so far I feel like y'all dragging this shit. It better be some wild shit that happened, Rinna. But it's hard because I don't believe Rinna. I don't trust Rinna. She's a liar. But I also do believe that Kathy Hilton is crazy. She's a crazy rich white woman. But y'all get in the comments and y'all tell me what y'all think. I'm not buying.